Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 or 3 replay. So on the south side is the blue Japanese, we have KatsuuraRonin. On the north side as the red English, we have AbsrdMouzRad, I think, I have no idea. For the natives, we do have the Zapatak settlement, who can give you some Jaguar Prowler Knight variant, the Zapak Lightning Warrior, as well as the Mayans, which can give you access to the Hokan Javelineer. Both of those units are available to the Aztecs as shipments. You can also get access to an Age 2 fortress, the Mayan Pyramid. No, for 800 resources, that may not be half bad to do some sort of aggressive proxy citadel there. Plus 20% hit points on infantry seems pretty good. And infantry, though, as well as foot archer. And some just faster collection speed. While the Zapotek, or however you pronounce it. Let's see, faster from Berry Bush's mills, so more food collection rate, as well as coin from the rice paddies in the States. Cult of the Dead increases all hand infantry damage, and the Cloud People, which will give you wood the longer you wait. One shipment's available now for the Japanese, and does have a deck selected. Nomad, so this is meant for a Nomad deck. We got infinite food, trade empire. You get a trade post rickshaw. Trade posts are cheaper and stronger, and does not give it the auto attack like the advanced trading posts. Good faith agreements. Constant armies improvements arrive 50% faster. Improvements cost less. Brigade shipments receive a moderate discount. And supplementary laws give you rescuing guards tiny trickle of all resources. As for some of them. For experience and exports, that can be quite nice. That's basically a little more powerful than Federita's, but it does not apply to additional town centers. Villagers, coin, shrine wagons, Yumi archers, musketeers, musketeer attack, diplomatic intrigue, chariot orchard rickshaw, more villagers, Yumi archers with a bow, more musketeers, close combat, flaming arrows. Dojo, ships a dojo rickshaw, like to construct a powerful dojo to produce military units of your choice. Bakafu, Yumi archers, musketeers, flaming arrow, mortars, and 47 Ronin. All your villagers and shrines turn into Master Samurai Guardians. Wait. And shrines? So wait, your shrine, the building turned into a Ronin. Is I reading that right? So this looks like a rebellion card. Bonus town centers are replaced by Ronin mercenaries. I am not so sure how that exactly works. If I'm reading this, it says shrines turn to maskless samurai guardians. Castles are replaced with Roku Ronins. What does that mean? Does it actually replace structures with units? Am I crazy? Either way, let's take a look at his opponent's deck. Who's going for the governor? The there's the Japanese player is also going for the Torii Great Gates. 1v1 land. We do got settlers, Yunkton, capitalism, villagers, wood, coin, pikemen, rodeados, hand cavalry hit points, advanced arsenal, church improvements, house of Tasmaria, wood, marvelous year, viceroy of New Spain, archaic infantry combat, rodeados, cavalry combat, lancers, calabros, falconets, Spanish gold, culverins, factory, industrial revolution. There's quite a bit of native upgrades to support melee units as well. And sorry, there's something I have to change. Much better. See? The Spanish explorer is building trade posts here now, with the cheering on of the dog named Dorado. Definitely not Dora the Explorer. Either way, we do not have the explorers for the Japanese player. Engaging these unbearable bears. Does take one out. Does have the other two stunned. Needs to focus them fire down, which he is. And now he will save himself a Mayan spearman. And now bringing a shipment of musketeer. It's also deployment musketeer. So soon we have 10 musketeer on the field, which is greater than 3 musketeers. The single free samurai got from the Torii Gates has, of course, excellent siege damage, 67 siege damage, while being 2 population unit is still even more cost effective than spearmen. He does, of course, bring the spearman as well, which is a musketeer variant with actually decent siege damage. Musketeers usually have 20 siege damage. It looks like he's set to melee mode as well, the spearman. Wait, there's maybe a different spearman. No, Mayan Holcon spearman. No, it's Javelier is the native variant, right? Yeah, Javelier, so that is actually different than these guys. Either way, do have a good number of doggos. We got Reynosa getting hit there. Doro is doing just fine. Pablo does go down, you monster. Reynosa goes down, you monster. Doro and El Paso engaging. Reynosa the second goes down, you monster. And all the dogs go down, you monster. Sorry. We do now. The trade post will be sieged down by the mass forces of the Japanese. The Spanish looks like going to go for a fast fortress age. He does have an outpost here going for it. Barracks for defensive reasoning. Can Spanish get out crossbows? Because they can really use crossbows against all these heavy infantry units. The Holcon Spearman is, of course, a heavy infantry as well. We got these forces moving around. Of course, got an outpost here. Collect the gold. Spanish player has quite a bit of, not as much food at the moment. He's going from research now. So he's not going for straight industrial age. He may want to convert a bunch of these villagers onto food up in right now. Could go for, I don't know. Doesn't have another ship available. It's going for a round of crossbows for defense. Crossbows are, of course, a counter. Not really of a hard counter, so they don't have a plus 25% bonus damage versus heavy infantry. But they will do 20 damage in comparison to Musketeers' 24 damage. Of course, these guys cost 120 versus these guys costing 80. They do also have range resist, while these guys do have more health. Overall, they seem like a bit more cost-effective versus the Musketeers, but they're still not a perfect counter. They do have 16 range, so they can get, of course, a good volley off before the Musketeers can get into range. Dutch allies have not been brought on in for the Japanese player. I was going for diplomatic intrigue. I can go for a bank wagon relatively soon from the Dutch. He's now bringing some Yumi archers. Got another round doggos. They may get put down again. We got Don Gato. Gato is Spanish for cat. Cerveza, Boca Chica, Abata, and Margarita. That one's drunk. Now we got these forces moving around. This trade post is not built. He could grab himself a Chinook scout. Grabbing scouts are not that great, honestly. The bandit gunslinger took some damage there, and the spearman, that is a bit of a unique animation there, doesn't he? I don't think actually, no, that may be the same animation wire mesh as the ninja and spies, potentially. By the way, he's now going to be sieging down this trade post. He has lost his samurai, so no extra siege damage from him. But he still has plenty of forces for siege damage, that's for sure. Now his Indian relations with the Dutch, he probably got his bank. Yep, there's his bank. And now the Japanese player can go to the next stage, going for something. His opponent is going for the bishop, which will allow him to move diagonally a little bit better. But the problem is his opponent's directly south, which is not diagonal. Got a number of rodeados. Rodeados are, of course, a fast-moving, heavy melee infantry unit. Problem is, this is the problem I always think that the melee infantry units have in this game. They have 11 attack. Musketeers have 10 attack. Their rodeados don't have great extra damage. They do have 40% melee resist. I suppose Musketeers 20 melee resist, but I just don't feel like... I think rodeados and large number of melee infantry should have a slight rework. But he does overwhelm his opponent with sheer numbers. And does take out all those musketeers. Very, very nice. He still has 11 rodeados remaining, and the crossbows are still pretty healthy. So he did lose 3 of the doggos. Does not have time to smoke bomb back that explorer. His other explorer is back at home. Now it's going to be torching down this trade post. Rodeados don't have great siege damage. In fact, quite the opposite. They're not like pikemen in that aspect. Another round of musketeers. The Yumi archers will be effective versus the rodeados. They do have plus 50% range heavy damage against heavy infantry units, unlike crossbows. They also have higher base damage as well. Of course, they are more expensive than crossbows. And now we've got the Spanish gold being shipped on in, as well as some musketeers going for a shipment of flaming arrows, as well as going for some merchant marines. Running has the golden pavilion, increasing the attack of your ranged units. That's why the Yumi archers went from 18 up to 20, and the musketeers going up to 26 from 23. Another round of musketeers. There's merchant marines being brought on in from the Spanish allies. Yep, the Spanish are shipping in some shipments to the Japanese player to fight against the Spanish. The Spanish player just going for a mass number of villagers. Of course, the bishop does give him access to secondary town center, so he's going for that secondary town center. He's also going to go for a fast industrial. Good try for the viceroy to New Spain, giving 2 haciendas, as well as giving some access to the enables to spawn settler action, enables spawn Chinko, which may actually be the Mexican musketeers, which are basically a 2 population musketeer variant. Active, set them to obtainable. And honestly, it's not a half bad card. Getting 200, pay 200 wood to get 1,200 in buildings is not bad. In comparison, the shipment of 1,000 wood is basically equal to this, barring all the extra stuff you get from this. Trading post is under siege. He has gotten the improved health in his trading post. He has gone for the Trade Empire. And we've got this outpost starting to be built by this explorer. Musketeers now push way forward. It does catch his opponent off guard, does get a free kill. And red has a late response there. It has a number of skirmishers engaging. Rodeados can of course tie up his opponent's musketeers up in melee. And now some of the skirmishers are going on down. Red's starting to fall back there. He better not age up. He does not have the... needs to actually build out another barracks. He's going for a stable. He needs to deploy out stuff. Skirmishers should be just fine for his composition, barring the flaming arrows. Lancers wouldn't be half bad. It would be useful for just the Yumi archer, and the mobility can help engage the flaming arrows. And hussars wouldn't be half bad versus the flaming arrows, as well as the Yumi archers. Just more generalist. Lancers, however, they do have great multipliers versus all infantry, so they actually are reasonable versus the musketeers. Not ideal, but reasonable, since the musketeers can also get bonus damage in return. The Spanish players now bringing some falconets. Very good idea. I have a feeling he's going to try to age up. He best age up using this one here, so he knows about his opponent's army right here. Skirmishers, another round deployed on the field. He does need more. He has an army of 31 versus an army of 42. Two falconets deployed on the field, which will be very effective. However, they're a little bit exposed at the moment. Oh, we got another army here. So the Japanese player has a potential army of 66. That is a massive amount. Got a round of Lancers being put on the field. Veteran something. Veteran Yumi Archer just research or discipline. That was not the Spanish one. You have looks like there are veteran rodeados. Musketeers try and push the way forward. Does get a good hit there. Flame Arrow gets a good hit as well. Falconet now receiving some counter barrages. Does get some good damage there. Skirmishers still here in good numbers. Round of Lancers now pulling the field, and Musketeers no longer here in good numbers. Skirmishers are getting some good damage. They need to focus on the Musketeers first. When the Lancers to go down, when the Flame Arrows go down. Lancers engaging the Musketeers. Going for either target is actually probably good, either the Musketeers or for the Flame Arrows. And now the Lancers should be able to clean up these Yumi Archers, no problem. Yumi Archers have 120 health. The Lancers should be able to two-shot them, or get... Actually, no, they'll just get... just shy of two-shotting them. They'll do... It'll leave... two-shotting them will leave them 1 health each, which the Skirmishers can just pick them off then. Another round of military units built on the field. Another round of skirmishers going for a shipment of the Lancers. He has a massive reserve of resources. He's not building anything else. He needs to deploy something else. There's the Lancers. The Spanish player needs to do something with his money. He is building some more units there. Maybe not half bad idea to go for the House of Tremasa when going for... in this age, because he has brought in good number of shipments in this current age. Right now, it does something like the fact that he has so many resources float on up, he's not spending it. Blue has a similar issue as well, but he may be eyeing to age up himself. He's going for some cherry orchard rickshaws. Castle not being put on the field. He can now age up. But to what is another question. He actually has a good number of idle villagers. That must be where the cherry orchards were. And he is aging up somewhere. Way over here, he's building the Shogunate, which will give him access to a daimyo and a 600 experience. That will give him finish off one more shipment, very likely. Right, it's going to be touching down that trade post there. This Townsend does spot this force. Now he has gone for both the haciendas, which he can deploy out some good musketeers from them. Blue's armies move around. Not many exposed villagers here. In fact, his villagers are right here, so Blue may not be able to hit any villagers. He may destroy a house or two. Looks like that Explorer does smoke bomb away. And now there's the age up, which he got a round of falconets there. He has not gone for the House of Tramasta. Falconets finds good volley there. Lancers here in good number, overwhelming all the musketeers. Musketeers go down, the Lancer will finish everything else off, along with the falconets and with the skirmishers. Blue's army just got annihilated there. That is not looking good for Blue. We got the first factor coming in. He's bringing the veteran soldados. He's right now just leaving these guys unworked, which will give him just a trickle of musketeers, which is not bad. But nothing too significant, honestly. His opponent does have an army of more Yumi archers there, has a bit of food and gold to work with. His daimyo's over here. And now we do see the Bushido principles now being researched. I have no idea how this is going to work. He may be saving up resources for it. He just needs a lot more wood. Got a line of walls there. Oh, now bring in a big round of musketeers. Alright, going for a handful of walls there. There's Daimyo. Got a round of samurai, which will be useful versus those lancers, though unlike the various other melee units, these guys' multipliers are not that high, but the AoE attack and base damage is good, so they're more similar to halberdiers. Better halberdiers, Paul, in general. Got a number of the veteran soldados, Mexican soldados now pulled on the field. DR ×2 musketeer. I would say I have a bit of a discount to them, being Spanish. Either way, we do have now a round of the... Oh, it's gone for Japanese isolation. Konsha Yamabushi, Japanese monk armed to two-handed club, good against cavalry and buildings. Not super familiar with them. They have really good siege attack. But then again, most Japanese units do have good siege attack. Let's see, he says they're a monk, but I don't know if they have access to heal ability. Doesn't look like they have access to heal ability. Not like any of his units are damaged. And they are a one-pop unit with good siege attack. More close to pikemen with extra siege, basically. They do also have range resist rather than melee resist. Church going on up for the Spanish. Now he is really working these haciendas.
Hola.
And look at that production rate. That is a good production rate there. Let's see, a soldado every 13 seconds, and which is a ×2 musketeer. Let's see, calculating that. Let's assume this musketeer is 200 resources. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per... Yeah, he gets about 5 per minute. So that's about 1,000 resources per minute. That seems good on top of my head. Right now, food's about what? 1 per second? Let's just assume 1 per second because that's usually like huntables, about 1 per second. In which that would be 60 per minute. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good conversion rate. Though that will be 1,000 per minute, so that's 20 villagers, 1,000 per minute. So 20,000 go down to 100, divide that by 2, so that's about 50 per second. So yeah, that's actually about relatively equal, though you don't have to worry about training times and it's infinite resources. So it is actually slightly worse than this. But then again, this is 8.87 per second. I need to sit down and do the math. Though it is free and it's at back home, maybe compared to estates or rice paddies is probably a good conversion rate. But compared to natural resources, maybe not so much. Either way, we do have red before, a good number of falconet shots there, nothing to counter the falconets. And Blue's army is just coming in piecemeal, which is not good. He does have a good amount of backline there. Lancers are forced to engage the melee units. Skirmishers engage the various clubs, as well as a good number of samurai there. But the Lancers are getting ripped apart. Red is starting to lose his front line. His secondary front line, the Musketeers, are however doing just fine. And Skirmishers are largely untouched. The Falconets are getting some great damage there onto the Yumi Archers now. The handful of Soldados starting to go on down. Musketeers and Yumi Archers being ripped apart. Red has a good core there, but we still got a good number of flaming arrows here. Getting great volley there on the skirmishers. The soldados may want to go into melee mode, starting to try to engage those flaming arrows. Now they got the guard soldados. Looks like he just got that upgraded. Blue's front line or army has disintegrated, just leaving the artillery remaining. Mortars is not what he needs. Now trying to go for the 47 Ronin. It says it turns shrines into Ronin. I have no idea if that deletes the building or what. It does. Okay, it literally just deletes his base, and now he has 0 population, a bunch of the Masterless Samurai. They do have 20 damage, good attack speed, so they're excellent melee unit. They are classified as hand infantry, not heavy, not light, so they're not countered by the skirmishers, but they don't, the skirmishers do regular damage to them. Now he gets overran, he has excellent, they do have good population space of 41. He has to counterattack now. And they do move pretty quick, don't they? 7. They move at 7. He needs to push forward. He can't sit around and do nothing. He can bring in no, he can't bring any shipment. He does not have population space. He literally can't sit around and do anything. No, leave the mortars behind. These guys move at, they said they move at 7 per second, 7 speed. He needs to rush them forward and have them start torching stuff down. And he's already brought in his shrines. Yeah, he's already brought in the shrine wagon, so can't get more population housing like that. So he literally can't bring anything else other than some other basic shipments. That's not going to be useful. Yeah, that's not going to be useful. So yeah, this is all he can do, only micro-lace force. He doesn't have any of his... Oh yeah, it also said it turned his wonders into stuff as well. Wait, he doesn't even have a town center anymore. He started getting overran by the Masterless Samurai and some Repentant Ronin. Repentant Ronin have 141 siege damage, and they are classified as mercenary. Yeah, Blue just have a high quality force. If Red's able to stall this, he'd be just fine, but right now Red is trying to build up more villagers. Culverins are not going to be useful because Japanese units have good siege damage. This will just take out the mortars, but that's not the threat. It's literally everything else is the threat. Culverins were a horrendously bad choice for a shipment, not to mention he's actually going to pick them off, forcing out the mortars. Does get a good hit there on the mortar, does get a little mortar before going on down. Yeah, the Rodialos would have been much better than that. Even then, the Rodialos will have trouble versus the Master Samurai. Let's see, he still has his daimyo on the field as well, which is very important. He does have a couple musketeers. He has, of course, his 4 Repentant Ronin, which have a massive siege damage. Let's see, there's one of them there. You have 500 health, 40 melee resist, great AoE attack, but of course he only has 4 of them. Those came from what, the castles or from the wonders? He needs to bring in, not coin, he needs to bring in the heavy cannon. He needs them to pull out heavy cannon. Heavy cannon will do great versus his force. Albeit for a short while before they get overran. We do have Yumi Archer Army being brought in from somewhere. I don't know where that's coming from. Is that from the dojo rickshaw? Some sort of free production from somewhere? Oh, yeah, there's a dojo rickshaw there. Which I don't think can deploy them out. They need 5 pop. Oh, he has population room now. Oh, his explorers produced, built shrines. I forgot the explorers, Japanese explorers can build shrines. So there's his population room. Another hacienda is starting to get torched on down. He does have another town center over here, but the Spanish player has 35 idle villagers. There's some. And there's plenty on this side of this town center. He has quite a bit of wood to work with. Got a shim of rodeados, but not going to be very useful. They just have inferior DPS versus everything. The estate sort of gets torched down. The estate was a weird choice, seeing he has coin deposits on the map. And the fact he's not building heavy cannon, I would say, is a big problem as well. He could try revolting. I think he needs to cancel this barracks and eye for a revolt. He needs just a little bit more wood and eye for a revolt. He's now bringing a good number of skirmishers, in which against these massive samurai musketeers may be better. This here is not classified as a revolt, so the Spanish player should still be able to revolt. Just got a shipment of, or the Dojo Rickshaw deployed out some Yumi archers there. The Spanish villager does go down. There's some various infrastructure back here, including some fattened sheep. They are fat. Don't fat body shame them. Stone walls there, which help them hold the line. Skirmishers will be useful versus the musketeers, that's for sure. Got some Naginata riders, and I'll pull them out as well. And they too will be effective with skirmishers. Pushing forward with skirmishers right now, try to get some damage on in. Another round of skirmishers, more skirmishers there. Pulling back behind the walls. Like as I mentioned beforehand, Master Samurai are not classified as heavy nor light infantry. They do have really good health, so it'd be hard to pick them off still. The skirmishers do have good range to help engage melee units. Naginata Rider does go down there. We focus on the explorers. The Spanish player not playing out anything at the moment. He's at pop cap now. He lost everything. I do believe he should just attack all of his villagers onto wood and eye for a revolt. Trying to build a good number of villagers here. Have a good amount of housing there. Still at pop cap. He has some enough wood for more housing. And I think the Spanish player is going to be knocked out of the game. He simply can't build enough housing, unable to field an army because of the lack of housing. And those massive samurai, they move fast. Spanish player, I think, is being a little bit stubborn, not back on the game. Trying to build more housing there. All of his barracks goes down. Yeah, this game's over. I think just being stubborn and backing out the game now, so I'm going to just fast forward. Those just trying to migrate back to this state and mill. Picks up that coin deposit, Spanish treasure chest. He doesn't have any wood. And Redcast and GG. This is Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.